Balake, where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is right here, everyone. Welcome back to Growing Up in Scientology, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Guys, when I call Scientology a family-destroying, multi-billion-dollar international human trafficking cult, emphasis on family destroying. And when you hear me say that Scientology has, to some extent, destroyed pretty much every family that's ever been involved in it, that includes Tom Cruise's family. That includes John Travolta's family. That includes the leader, David Miscavige's family. That includes L. Ron Hubbard's own family. I'm being very literal. And Scientology attempts to destroy families, even families of members of people who are relatively new to Scientology at the introductory lower levels. And this was brought into focus this week in an article that appeared in the Mirror. Now, what's in this article isn't actually original reporting. They're talking about stuff that Matt Willis had said in a podcast interview recently. And Matt Willis and his wife, Emma Willis, are UK personalities, entertainment personalities. I tried to dig into who they were it seems like Emma Willis is a TV presenter. It seems like Matt Willis was in a band, a musician. I don't have any actual context for how famous these people are in the UK. For those of you in the UK, maybe you can help explain that to me in the live chat or in the comments section for the replay crew. Like, what would be like an American equivalent? Like, are Matt and Emma I was like, I don't know, are they as big as Ryan Seacrest? Are they as big as Kardashian? Who's like a mid-level reality TV star? I don't know, guys. I don't watch reality TV. Is it Real Housewives of Beverly Hills level? I don't know, guys. Maybe you can help me understand it. But what little information Matt Willis did, it's actually not just a little bit of information, but what information he shared about his involvement in Scientology and how Scientology tried to break up his marriage to Emma, I thought this definitely deserved to be highlighted. So it says, Matt Willis exposes super secret world of Scientology that tried to split him and Emma up. The Love is Blind host, Matt Willis, has opened up about how he got sucked in the dark world of Scientology by a fairground trick and almost ruined his marriage to Emma Willis. Matt Willis and Emma are hosts of a new UK dating show, Love is Blind, a spinoff of the much-loved US Netflix series. I've never seen the Netflix show, guys, but I've heard a lot about it. Matt and Emma will be on hand to give words of wisdom to the contestants hoping to find love. After being married for 16 years, Matt and Emma will have plenty to offer the single hopefuls. However, Matt and Emma will be the first to admit their own marriage hasn't been plain sailing. Matt has previously revealed how Emma issued him a dark ultimatum over his addiction battles. The pair then endured another rough patch when Matt became swept up in the secret world of Scientology. My number one complaint of this article, or what they picked, what they cherry picked out of the podcast they're quoting from, there's nothing in this article that says when Matt got involved in Scientology or for how long he was involved. It says he and Emma have been married for 16 years, so we know it was within that window, but when exactly and how long is pretty important information that's not touched on here. Okay, the singer revealed that he became so involved with Scientology that he almost left his wife on the advice of Scientology. Scientology is followed by a number of high-profile U.S. stars, from Tom Cruise to John Travolta to Elizabeth Moss, but no British stars have publicly shared their involvement until Matt spoke out. Some of you may recall that Tom Cruise was really trying to get the Beckhams into Scientology, and much has been said about that. However, the Beckhams have never publicly commented on that. Okay, the father of four, Matt, told how he became fully invested in Scientology, spending time at their London headquarters and joining in their practices, but became skeptical that leaders were trying to come between him and his wife as he delved further into Scientology. His dealings with Scientology began days after he left rehab seeking treatment for drug and alcohol abuse. Matt said he was walking down London's Tottenham Court Road when he was approached by a stranger asking him some simple questions. Guys, this is a big deal. The fact that a celebrity was brought into Scientology by what I have been calling on this channel their sidewalk recruitment efforts is a big deal. I know I talk a lot on this channel about how Scientology recruitment has dwindled to practically zero, but it's not literally zero. And the fact that the protesters, the Scientology live streaming protesters in Los Angeles, have succeeded in shutting down the Hollywood Test Center is a big deal. This Tottenham Court Road Test Center that Matt is saying is how he got into Scientology. That test center in the UK in London is the equivalent of the Hollywood Test Center. So that's something that jumped out at me from this article. Okay, so the stranger approached him asking some simple questions. After having just left a treatment facility, talk of a fulfilled life without drugs, promise of a higher power, and the opportunity to meet like-minded new people, reeled in a newly sober Matt. The following week, and I bet the sidewalk recruiter had absolutely no idea who he was approaching either. The following week, he followed up an invitation to attend the Scientology headquarters. Every single day I went there, I bought different I bought different books and did different courses. I was in. Matt recalled of his first encounters with Scientology. I've already been through this article and I've tried to look for hints of what courses or auditing Matt was doing in Scientology. And I cannot find enough hints to indicate what services he was doing. And I would use that information to determine how deep he had actually gotten in, to maybe get an idea of how long he had been in. And I'm just not able to get enough information from what Matt shared. Okay, let's fast forward here. Matt explained how he became fully invested after undergoing a Scientology process called auditing, which seeks to locate areas of spiritual distress using an e-meter that detects harmful energy in the body. Again, he talks about undergoing an auditing procedure, but there's a lot of things you can do in Scientology, particularly at the very introductory levels, that aren't actually auditing. And I have heard other people who have been briefly in Scientology for just a hot minute say that they got auditing when in reality what they got was a metered ethics interview or an A to J check or a PTS handling, none of which is auditing. And so when he says auditing, I don't automatically assume that it's actual auditing, just for the record. Okay. Matt said he was instructed to hold on to some metal cans while being asked a series of questions, the answers to which appeared to influence the movements of a needle on a dial. Afterwards, he said he was told by the leaders that they could help him if he embarked on a simple course that would leave him feeling like a different person. Do you see how in this recounting of the events, it sounded like trying to sell him a course or an auditing action is what occurred after whatever the thing he did with the e-meter was. And it sounds like he's talking about just because he was on the e-meter that he was getting auditing. But in reality, it sounds like it was some kind of an interview to get him to spit something out that they could use to focus on to then sell him courses or auditing. It's hard to truly understand. He says, I was an idiot who got hoodwinked by some guy with a fairground trick, Matt said of the experience. Yes, see, now, again, that would be a good description of a metered interview that's being done for the purposes of selling him something. Calling that a fairground trick would be quite accurate. Okay, we've got little Tommy Cruise here, who has spent an awful lot of time in London, England over the last 15 years. Okay, as Matt made frequent visits to the Scientology Center, Matt says he began to feel that he was standing out from the pack in his casual clothes after observing other followers formally dressed and began showing up in a suit and tie to fit in. I think that is super fascinating. He was at least going there long enough to feel the pressure to conform to the ideals of the group. In my opinion, this went on for much more than several weeks, but I wish he was specific about that point. They butted me up with a young guy who was very, very involved. His mom and dad were part of the big leagues. We did some one-on-one work. All questions were about my life, what's going on, what's holding me back, and holding my potential back. Guys, again, the way this is being described does not sound like any specific course that I could describe. It does not even actually sound like auditing. It sounds like by the time he got into the org, perhaps someone knew he was a celebrity and somebody paired him up to do some one-on-one work, kind of some personal coaching. You know what would be awesome? Oh my God. If I could actually interview Matt about his experience in Scientology. That didn't even occur to me until right now. I don't know. Do you guys think I could pull that interview? I'm going to give it a shot. Anyone out there who's, I don't know, anyone out there in the world who has any connections to Matt and Emma, hit me up at growingupinScientology@gmail.com. Okay, so he goes, what I was taking from it was that your environment, your friends, and the people you're closest to are your problem. I was like, what are you effing getting at here? Matt says the Scientologist warned him that there was someone in his life that was actually draining him. Matt was told that the negative force was usually the person closest to you, leading Matt to fear the leaders were trying to end his marriage to beloved wife, Emma. That description makes me think he was doing the Overcoming the Ups and Downs in Life course, which is a very common course to put people on for their first course. And it has to do with the subject of suppression and evil, suppressive people who latch on to people. Guys, they particularly push this on celebrities. They particularly push this on celebrities because celebrities are vulnerable to people trying to latch onto them, ride their coattails, get something from them, manipulate them in various ways. And especially for celebrities, they will really push this suppressive person, potential trouble source technology that they have in Scientology. And this is how brand new members, and this is true not just for celebrities, but it could be particularly true for celebrities. This is how brand new members are very quickly introduced to the Scientology concept of disconnection. Now, the way it's described and the way that it's framed and the way that you're coached through this material is that this applies to like truly evil people that are so dead set that are actually secretly terrified of others. And it is their fear of others. They fear that if other people in their environment got more powerful, that for sure the people in their environment would turn on them and try to destroy them. That's how afraid they are of everyone. So they have to try to keep everyone down. They have to try to suppress and destroy people. And they actively fight anything that helps people, which is why SPs are terrified of Scientology and try to destroy Scientology. But people like that also try to destroy you. And this is how you're coached into this, that it's very important to be able to spot such people in your life so that you can either handle them or disconnect from them. But a truly suppressive person cannot be handled. So the solution is disconnect. And you learn this at the very lowest levels on the Overcoming Ups and Downs in Life course. Okay. It wasn't long before an increasingly suspicious Matt felt adrift from other people in his life. He said he felt as though he had no family or friends because the only people close to him were the family and friends of the Church of Scientology. Guys, how long would Matt have to be involved in Scientology before he actually started to feel that sort of impact on his personal life and his social circle? It seems like this was going on for quite a while. As Matt became more involved, he said the Scientologist did not want him to leave. And when he raised concerns, other members were brought in to talk to him. Matt said he eventually managed to cut ties by keeping away from the headquarters completely and refusing to pick up his phone when he was called every day for a month. According to Matt, the final straw was when he became embroiled in a huge row with one of the members. Speaking on Matt Richardson's podcast called When No One's Watching, Matt said he only threw away his Scientology Bible 2 years ago. Now, guys, I don't know what the hell he means by the Scientology Bible, but I suspect it's either the Scientology Handbook or the What is Scientology book. But I think it's incredible that he talks about getting in a huge argument with one of the members. I would be dying to know what that argument was about. It is so against the rules for someone in Scientology to actually get into an argument with a celebrity public. I got to know the details, guys. I got to talk to Matt. Matt says, I was like, I'm going to effing read that one day. I tried to. It is effing enormous and really boring. I got about 8 pages in. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he's talking about the Scientology Handbook or the What is Scientology book. Either one of those books would fit that description. Okay, they finished this off with a little description of Scientology. Scientology fought for years to be recognized as a church legally in the UK, with the IRS ruling it is tax exempt as of 1993. But in 2013, Britain's Supreme Court ruled that Scientology was a religion and legal weddings could take place in its chapels. That's true, but they did not give Scientology tax exempt status. Okay. There you go, guys. Just a little interest item. I thought it was important to at least serve as a jumping off point. Yet another example of how Scientology's disconnection policies that exist as an offshoot of what Scientology calls its PTS-SP tech. The suppressive person is what I already described. A potential trouble source is anyone who's connected to a suppressive person. You might be interested to know that the term potential trouble source means this person is a potential source of trouble to Scientology. That's where that term comes from. This person is PTS. They are potentially a source of trouble to Scientology. Now, originally that meant if this person comes in and they want to do Scientology and Scientology is capable of helping them, if they have a connection to an SP, then the better this person gets in their life, the more attacks and suppression they're going to experience from the SP. And attacks from an SP can cause this person to lose the gains that they got from Scientology. This is originally where the term came from. So they were like, the reason we don't like this is because this person will pay for a Scientology course or auditing. They will do the course or the auditing. They will get better. This will make the SP terrified and furious. The SP will attack them and attack Scientology. It will cause the person to lose their gains. And then that person will come back and ask for a refund. And that is trouble for the organization. It actually, the whole term came from this idea of we don't want to give anyone their money back. So we have to know, we have to label people PTS, and PTS people aren't allowed to do courses in auditing until they handle or disconnect from the source of suppression. That's what those words mean. All right, guys, just a quick one. That is it for now. Stay tuned. Much more to come later today. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.